Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Doc Marten 2976 Chelsea boot 5 years later review, how it held up. I want to do this because the Doc Marten original shoe review that I have on my channel is one of my most viewed videos. So I want to give the people what they want. I mean, no one, not even one person asked me to do this, but just for my own documentation. So it's been exactly 5 years to this day where I filmed the shoe review. I'll leave a little clip here. Hi guys, today I'm coming to you guys with a shoe review, and the shoes that I will be reviewing are the Doc Marten Chelsea boots. And while a lot has changed, like my hair, my makeup, my nails, the one thing that has stayed constant is my love for these shoes. Spoiler alert, I still love the shoes. So I actually thought it would be interesting to start out the video by doing a quick, just very brief shoe time lapse of me cleaning my shoe. The only reason why I say this is because I think it's only fair to put it up against the 5 year ago video, so it kind of looks a little bit similar, or as similar as I can make it. I think it'd be unfair to show the disheveled condition of the shoe and then try to compare it to when I first bought it. So as I'm cleaning here, you'll see that I just took a damp cloth and did one run through and just wiped off all of the excess. So there was like wood shavings on there, and then I went in with a toothbrush, just an old toothbrush that you have around the house, preferably with softer bristles, and then I went into that groove that is between the sole and the shoe. Like I said, it was just a very brief cleaning, nothing too detailed. I just wanted to basically get the more exterior dirt off of the shoe. While I was cleaning the shoe, I didn't even notice that my shoe started to have some separation. I'll get into that a little bit later. Just to be a little extra, I had some leather shoe oil around the house, so I'm just gonna do a coat of that for my shoe, just to make it look nice and pretty for the video. So the things I'm gonna talk about are the overall wear of the shoe, the pros, the cons, as well as the utility. Before I get into the shoe criteria, I wanted to just talk about my overall comments of the shoe. So any of you guys that have not seen my first video, I've discussed a lot of them already in the first video that I made of the Doc Marten shoe review, but just to catch you guys up to speed if this is your first time watching me or watching anything related to these shoes. So shoe size, I bought the shoe in a US 7, but I'm typically a US size 8. But I will want to caveat that usually my shoe size with leather shoes varies. It could vary a whole half size to a whole size smaller because leather is known, like the integrity of leather is known to stretch. I had a lot of questions on my last video asking about how I run the shoe size. I will say it runs a bit big, but also keep in mind that if you want to go a whole size down, I do think that lends way for you to wear chunkier socks, which I would imagine a lot of people are intending this to be maybe their winter shoe. So if you go a whole size down, it lends way for you to wear chunkier socks and chunkier knits on your bottoms. But if you're trying to just wear this with regular socks, like thin cotton socks, then maybe even a half size would be more than fine for you. So you're probably wondering, how much wear did I actually get in these shoes? I personally wore these shoes maybe 2 times, even up to 4 times a week, depending on really what the season was. But all to say is I wore these shoes as my all year round shoes. Keep in mind, I live in Southern California, but that's not to say that I didn't go to the mountains or I didn't go test these shoes in other conditions other than just sunny California. So summer times I'd maybe wear them like 2 times a week, and then all the way to the winter times I could find myself wearing them 4 times a week. Actually gravitated towards these shoes as my traveling shoe even, because if I was going on like a snowboarding trip to the mountains or just any place that had icy or snowy conditions, I found myself gravitating towards these shoes because they're kind of like the one-stop shoe for all your needs. Like they could be your lifestyle shoe, they could also be for trekking around in the mountain, for hikes because they really deflect rubble, I feel like, because they're such a thick shoe. And this last comment is probably only to my select few out there that have very arched feet. I, for one, have very arched feet, so if you're wondering how they fit personally on me, they're totally comfortable. I don't have to put in like Dr. Scholl's foot arches at all. Okay, so now going into the shoe breakdown, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the overall wear of the shoe. So like I briefly mentioned in the shoe cleaning time lapse, I actually didn't have any idea that my shoe was starting to separate, like the rubber sole was starting to separate from the actual shoe itself. Found a solution. I basically just used some Gorilla Glue, one of these clips. It's a quick fix, but I can't tell you if it will last. So I actually got in contact with customer service, just waiting on a response back. But that's a very specific case for what happened to me because I do a lot of activities in this shoe. I'm constantly bending the soles of the shoe, so that could probably explain why. But either way, that should not have happened. It should not have been defective like that. But like I said, that's a very personal situation for me, so I'm just glad that I found a quick fix for now. So aside from that biggest flaw, the other things that are very minor and almost like not even noticeable for me is that there are some loose threads, which is pretty obvious that's gonna happen. And there is some scratches and scuffing, which once again, I'm totally okay with. And then probably the most noticeable thing is that the elastic band of the shoe is starting to curl a little bit. So if you've heard of like when your t-shirt or crew neck starts to bacon neck, I call it like the elastic baconing, which makes sense too because I'm sliding these shoes on and off so many times in a day, so many times in a week, that I think that's kind of more, it's kind of expected that that would have happened. Alrighty, so the next section I'm going to talk about is things I'm still impressed by 5 years later, aka the pros. The thing that really stood out to me the most is that I did not ever have to break in these shoes. So keep in mind that I've owned other Doc Marten shoes before. I've owned the eyelet shoelace ones, and those, oh my gosh. Those are wildly uncomfortable. Like, I love Doc Marten, like, trust me. No, that's a no for me. That's a no for me. I found them to be like unbearably stiff, that like the walls of the shoe or the lip of the shoe would constantly be chafing and like digging into my shin. I wasn't almost gonna give Doc Marten a chance after those shoes, but luckily I found these pair of shoes that I really liked, and to my avail, like I did not have to break them in. And typically with leather shoes, you commonly will have a break-in period, but these ones, it wasn't anything even like recognizable or noticeable to me. Maybe I was breaking them in and breaking in the leather to make it a bit more soft, but nothing that was alarming. Like nothing that I remember having to like bandage my whole foot so that I can wear the shoe. Nothing like that. Next thing is I get a bunch of compliments on them. Like, yes, like worth it. So many, like both female, male, like anywho, like everyone always compliments my shoes every time I wear them. And the funny thing is that like 99.999% of the time, these shoes are like battered. Like there's dirt on them, it's scuffed, it's not the prettiest, not the most presentable looking, like not how it looks right now because after I cleaned them. But yet people are still complimenting my shoes. The next thing that was actually quite fascinating to me is that the tread is barely worn down. And once again, this is much of a personal, like very specific case to me. It really depends on how you wear your shoes. Some people are very like heel dominant, or they drag their feet. So some people that are like, they drag their feet, their shoe tread might look a bit different than mine will. I will say that I have owned many pairs of boots before, and the tread on those shoes have just, it's been like, it dissipates into thin air. But I feel like the biggest difference is that the shoe tread on these shoes, due to the fact that they're rubber, less like a wooden material, I think like with the natural effects of wood, as you're starting to chafe it more on the floor, like it'll start to thin out. Because I think rubber is a material that is less prone to like kind of flake off or like chafe away, I think that's another reason why my tread has still kept its shape pretty well. So I remember buying the shoe, and I think I even made a comment about that in the shoe review video, that I was like, how the heck is this pull tag planning to stay on? Because you're jamming your whole shoe in that through just using the pull tag. But rest assured, the pull tag is still so intact. Like it is strong. It is there. None of it has started to loosen. None of the threads have started to separate. It is completely on. So if you guys are wondering about that, because I was wondering about that, just know that 5 years later, after putting it on and off thousands of times, it's still okay. So when I first got these shoes, I was like, what the heck? Like, did I just order a rain boot? Because they were just so shiny. But like I said, the natural nature of leather is that as you wear it in more, as you really live in it, it starts to have a softened leather, it starts to look more form-fitting to your foot, it starts to look more like a buttery texture. So one of the more favorite pros is that the way of the battered look of the shoe, the scratches, the scuffing, was actually something that I was actually intending to do with these shoes. So that probably contributes another reason to why I like love wearing these shoes for any occasion, because I know I can get these shoes battered up. Okay, so this next one is gonna be a little bit hard to vocalize, so maybe I'll just use visuals to help me facilitate how I wanna say this. Like I was saying with the old Doc Martens that I used to own that were the shoelace ones, the mouth of the shoe or even the walls of the shoe I felt commonly would stab and like dig into my shin or the back of my leg and my calf. It was so uncomfortable. Like every step it'd be like jab, jab, jab. The thing that I found was just perfect about this shoe is that I can bend over. I will not have the mouth or the lip of the shoe like digging into my skin. Part and parcel with the breaking in part, like I never had an experience where I had to like band-aid up my whole foot to wear these shoes to break them in. Like never once did I have to do that. So I think that that probably contributes also to the leather, the softness of the leather and how it's been able to kind of break down and move and have more flexibility. The thing I really appreciated about this shoe is how breathable it is. I didn't find it was ever too stuffy. I didn't find that my shoe was ever producing like an odor. Like sometimes with really thick walled shoes that don't allow a lot of breathing room, your foot will produce odors, and if anything it will be enhanced even more because of just how little room airflow there is in the shoe. Yeah, no scent at all. Something that I don't think people talk about enough with shoes is how easy it is to clean. So that's another reason why I wanted to show myself cleaning the shoe. I will choose to wear my Doc Martens over choosing to wear my tennis shoes. Let's say I'm doing yard work or gardening. I will choose to wear these because I find that if mud gets on it, and you know, like wet mud is like, it feels like clay, like it feels like it's never gonna come off. And the second you get that on a cotton material, like you're gonna have to scrub the heck out of those shoes to get that mud out. But with this, like I literally will sometimes just take a hose, like literally just take a hose to my shoe and like almost like power wash it a little bit, and then the mud will come right off. The last point that I want to talk about for the pros is how convenient it is. So I remember talking about this in my first video, the Doc Martens shoe review. I remember talking about how I used to be that person that like if I was invited to a house party and you know, if you're especially in like an Asian household where people want you to take off your shoes, I like straight up would be at the door probably a minute to 2 minutes longer than everybody else because I would always be wearing boots, and I'd always be wearing these like lace-up boots that like required you to like unlace it, take it off. By far my most favorite part and feature of the shoe is the slip on and off ability of the shoe. It is so convenient. Like I kid you not, like I think that single-handedly contributes to why I wear this shoe so much. Like had it not been for the convenience aspect, I probably would not be wearing these boots as much as I do. And I think the only con that I could possibly think of is just how heavy the shoe is. But like I said, with the nature of the shoe being that it's a thick leather, the rubber sole probably contributes to probably 80% of the weight because the sole is just so thick, but that contributes to their bouncing feature that they advertise their shoe as. So I understand why the shoe is so heavy, but I know some people do not, like if you're, for example, a runner, you're trying to look for the lightest weight shoe. So this is something that to take note of, is that if you're interested in buying these shoes, if for example you were to travel with these shoes, I could see how that would be a pain because it's very bulky and it's very heavy. So that's just something to note. But that's not a huge, like I wouldn't consider that an actual con. I think that's more of just understanding what you're getting yourself into when you're purchasing these shoes. I briefly touched base about this in the other parts of the video, but I have worn this shoe in every condition you can think of. I have worn it in the snow, I have worn it in gravel, I've worn it on hikes, I've worn it, you know, for lifestyle purposes, of course, and I have never had an issue finding an outfit to pair with these shoes. I confidently can say that any condition you imagine yourself wearing these shoes in, it'll do. maybe not the beach. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that any of the information that I stated today will help in your decision making of these shoes. And like I said, I will link my shoe review that I did 5 years ago down in the description if you wanted to see more research. And who knows, maybe 5 years down the line, I'll do another shoe review. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!